Yo, yo, I want to share some spiritual practices that have been valuable and life-changing for me. I'm going to list them off here: prayer, meditation, contemplation, bare feet on the earth, laying on your back on the earth, laying on your front on the earth, being naked in the sunlight, receiving sunlight, walking in nature, sitting still in nature, hugging trees, touching trees with your hands, crying, crying, maybe the absolute best, most healing, most heart connecting, most heart awakening practice, connecting to the inner child in any and all ways, visualizing the inner child and giving the inner child a hug, singing to the inner child, men's work, men's circles, incredible modality, plant medicine work, ayahuasca, bufo, psilocybin, mushrooms, the wise use of cannabis in a sacred ceremonial fashion, reading great mythic texts like Lord of the Rings or Harry Potter or the Chronicles of Narnia, loving people, loving relationships, loving presence with friends and family, fatherhood. Oh, such an incredibly deep medicine, such a beautiful gift. Marriage, incredibly deep medicine, incredibly beautiful gift. Looking at the sky, laying on your back and looking at the sky during the day or at night. Yoga of Radiant Presence, Peter Brown's practice and teaching, incredibly valuable, incredibly beautiful. The Tao Te Ching, Lao Tzu's teaching, the teaching of Jesus Christ, and connecting directly to Christ through prayer. Incredibly, incredibly powerful. Christ is my North Star, feels like my truest lineage holder. Finding your truest lineage holder, whatever face of God, whatever super personal expression of divinity resonates most deeply with you, finding that and giving everything to that, offering all energies, emotions, decisions, your whole life, offering it to your lineage holder. Any energies coming from other people, if you're doing healing work on yourself or others, having a lineage holder to give it all to is absolutely massive. Shadow work, creativity, creating art of any kind. Let's see, I think we're at 30 now. Entrepreneurship, incredibly deep initiation and warrior activation. Archetypal work. We've journeyed through so many archetypes in the men's group that I lead. Archetypes are such a cool way to explore the multi-dimensional jewel of existence. Sauna, oh my gosh, sauna and cold shower. Saunas and cold showers, absolute staple for me. Usually 2 to 3 times a work, 2 to 3 times a week when I'm living in Germany. I am at the sauna and cold shower. I'll usually read a novel in the sauna, then take a cold shower, then back in the sauna, then cold shower, back in the sauna, cold shower. Do that about 3 times. Feel like a newborn baby. Um, Speaking of newborn baby, gibberish, just making gibberish sounds, silly sounds, complete nonsense, incredible practice. Animal sounds, singing, dancing, humming, oming. I think we're up to 40 now. Tapping on your body, pounding on your body, tapping on the top of your head, tapping anywhere on your body that feels like it needs to be woken up. Massage, giving massages to yourself and others, receiving massage, incredible, incredible. Um, let's see, there was something else there a moment ago. Where'd it go? Where'd it go? Oh, hugging, hugging. Oh my, please give more hugs. We live in such a touch deprived culture. Give more hugs. Hug the people you love. Tell them you love them. Tell them you love them. Laughing meditation, laughter in general, or different types of laughter meditation exercises where one person does a crazy laugh and everyone else present imitates that laugh. Hilarious, super fun. Full spectrum sharing, where anyone can share any part of themselves in any way that comes forth. Linear, non-linear, absurd, shadowy, whatever, and it's just witnessed in pure love by whoever's present. Improv, all forms of improv, stand-up comedy, acting, Osho meditations. There's so many amazing Osho active meditations out there. And let's see if I can come up with number 50 here. I don't know if I mentioned listening to healing music. Listening to healing music, for me, Christ-focused music is incredible. Songs I learned as a child, those hit so deep, connected to my ancestry, my lineage. But yeah, I have a whole playlist called Heart Healing Sound Ceremony that's available on Spotify. That's like 33 hours of the greatest healing music from across many different wisdom traditions, many different wisdom streams. So feel welcome to check that out. Direct God realization and enlightenment practices. Yeah, reading about enlightenment and God realization and just directly practicing to realize God now. Humility, may have already mentioned this, but specifically like getting down on your knees, bowing down, kissing the earth, like bowing down before the Almighty, incredibly powerful, especially if you're someone like me who can really use some humbling sometimes. It's a great humbling practice. Yeah, just again, loving people, being loving presence, being grace, being a field of unconditional love unto yourself and everyone who comes into your field of awareness, emanating unconditional love unto all beings and all of creation, not withholding love or withholding mercy from any being, dreaming, praying for all beings to return to heaven, to return home to heaven, and realize then that they never left. You know, and heaven can mean different things, point to different things. I don't necessarily mean it in a Christian context, just dreaming of the highest possibility of goodness, love, grace, redemption, salvation, liberation, enlightenment, illumination, healing for all beings, holding that as a prayer, a dream, and a wish that you're visualizing within yourself, that you're holding in your heart. Um, yeah, beautiful. Also, like drawing and writing down mantras and affirmations, drawing sacred cosmograms or symbols that are deeply resonant with your entire cosmology and hanging those in places where you'll see those daily. I have some things like that hanging back here in my studio where I see them all the time, and also over there, and just around in general. Got a little altar set up over there. Setting up an altar is another thing, a space that is reminds you of what is sacred and a space to pray and bow down or meditate. So, yeah, also just being you, radical, full authenticity, full spectrum authenticity. Um, just being you, however that shows up for you. Radical honesty, radical self-honesty, incredibly powerful. Getting super honest about any ways that you're lying to yourself, any ways that you're bullshitting yourself, any ways that you claim to be one thing, but you don't show up that way. You kind of project an image, but you're not really embodying it. Getting super honest about that. Always being willing to leave no stone unturned, always being open to feedback from others, asking others for radically honest feedback about your blind spots, asking ChatGPT to roast you, incredibly powerful. I've had ChatGPT roast me in the voice of Dumbledore and Jack Kerouac and probably Voldemort and like dozens of other characters and voices. Very interesting exercise. ChatGPT will draw upon everything it knows about you and roast you and point out all your blind spots, all your shadows. Incredibly deep one there. Um, Yeah, friendship with people, with animals, being a good friend, being a good son, brother, lover, grandson, neighbor, father, whatever your roles are on earth. Um, yeah, just being grounded to the earth and attending to your sacred responsibilities on the earth, whatever those may be. Service of all kinds, service in any form. Surprised it took me so long to mention this one. Um, yeah, I had a lot of resistance to the word service for many years, but now I deeply embrace it as one of the most powerful, purifying, sanctifying devotional practices. Any way that you can serve other people. Giving love is receiving, giving love is happiness. Get out of your own way and serve others, and you will be purified and brought home to truth, to love, to God, to the inmost heart of reality. Um, let's see, making your entire life into art, viewing all of life as art, expressing art through the way you cook, the way you dress, the way you express, the way you walk, the way you talk, anything you do, anything you create, seeing it all as a work of art, um, incredibly, incredibly powerful. Contemplating distant galaxies, contemplating the size of the corporeal universe, the apparent endless spaciousness of this infinite reality, contemplating on that, incredibly beautiful, incredibly powerful. Um, Going into bodies of water, going into lakes, ponds, rivers, connecting to natural bodies of water, baptizing yourself in natural bodies of water in the name of whatever feels like your truest lineage holder, or the truest expression of divinity that most deeply resonates with you, baptizing yourself, baptizing others, baptizing your children. Um, Long hot baths for sure, incredibly beautiful, incredibly nourishing practice. Fasting of all kinds, turning off the devices, turning off the social media, cutting back on the food for a few days, doing 24-hour, 36-hour juice fast or water fast. Incredibly deep and beautiful reset. Um, let's see, community, attending retreats, attending festivals, going to spaces of sacred community, finding the others and feeling, getting that sense of tribe. Getting that sense of tribe is incredibly powerful. That sense of soul family, experiencing that. Um, Aliveness, following your aliveness, doing whatever feels like it brings you to life, whatever vitalizes you, whatever reactivates your inner child. Following your aliveness and your highest excitement from a place of what feels really pure and innocent in your heart. It's not about hedonism, it's not about indulging every craving. It's about like what kindles the sparkles of pure childlike innocence in my heart, where I come alive in the most wholesome, sacred way, is how I would gesture toward what that means to me. And reading stories or watching movies that you loved as a kid. I recently watched uh, the new Willy Wonka film, which connected me to my love for Willy Wonka. I recently rewatched Hook, the childhood Peter Pan film with Robin Williams. Absolutely incredible. Recently reread the entire Harry Potter series, my favorite books as a kid. Absolutely stunning experience. I was just crying. So touching, such a powerful mirror. Let's see, I think we're up to 70 now. Mindful eating while you're eating, truly savoring the food, truly savoring the juiciness. This kind of connects again to yoga of radiant presence, which I mentioned earlier. But what yoga of radiant presence is just like dropping the labels on any experience and just connecting to the pure direct experience, the pure sensation, the raw naked flavors, the percolating unpinned downable, unsayable, indefinable flavors of that experience, the actual dripping suchness, the beingness, the raw primal fact of the experience, stripped of its usual definitions. We usually put things in these definitional boxes, and that prevents us from just directly experiencing them and seeing the astonishing miracle of everything. So, number 72, noticing the astonishing miracle of everything, wonderment, awe, any way that you can be gobsmacked, flummoxed, bowled over, opening to awe, wonder, splendor, incredibly powerful. Finding ways to connect with ancestors, connecting to any ancestral tradition that you've been part of, praying to your ancestors, visualizing your ancestors who have departed from this world, praying to them, thanking them, honoring the ancestors, rooting in my ancestral tradition has felt so grounding and like connecting to this ancient, mighty sequoia, this undergirding superstructure that my ancestors built brick by brick. Such a powerful practice. Going to sanctuaries, kind of touched on this, but any kinds of old churches or cathedrals or temples or mosques or Buddhist temples or healing sanctuaries, like seek these places out. There are places on earth that are literally charged with grace and peaceful energy. Go to those places. Um, People watching, especially in the city, just noticing the cacophony of activity in every face, like a ragtag sculpture painted by hand unseen, just letting everything be this incredibly exquisite fresco that is ever fresh, ever new, never before seen, melting, dripping with radiance, dripping with subtlety, dripping with artistry. Um, I think we're up to 75. This is an interesting exercise here. Um, eye gazing, eye gazing, incredibly powerful. Even for like 1 minute, let alone 5 minutes, just sit down, maybe put on some healing music and just stare. We could sit about 3 feet away from somebody and just stare into each other's eyes. Incredibly deep, rich practice. Dialogue, dialogos, Socratic dialogue, where you're not debating, you're not trying to prove each other wrong. It's more like you're playing jazz music, you're harmonizing, you're building on each other, you're exploring and unfurling tapestry and castle. You're both open to revelation, you're both open to insight, and you're dialoguing in this way with a fellow interlocutor who has a deep love for pure expression, for artistry, for philosophia, the love of wisdom. Dialogue can be so sacred. Whew. All right. I think that was 77. It seems like a good number. I actually have a tattoo, 7 out of 7 right here. Wholeness, baby, wholeness, baby. 7 out of 7. Got that in Amsterdam back in 2018. Um, there you have it, 77 practices. I hope that list is inspiring, gives you some cool portals and trapdoors to explore. Peace to you, peace and love. Peace to my daughter, feeling so much love for her and my wife, and in this moment, and my family and friends. All beings, just omnidirectional love radiated to all beings and creatures in all worlds. Sending the absolute best to everybody, wishing you the best. Heaven now. Let's put ourselves in heaven now, abundance now, radiance now. Notice the pearls beyond price that are all around you, what cannot be priced. And yeah, just flip that switch and let the old become new. Let the normal become the astonishing miracle of existence shining all around you in every moment. So, peace, infinity, Christ bless, God bless, Jah bless, Buddha bless, Tao bless. Anandamayi Ma, bless. Great Mother, bless. Gaia, bless. Take care, family. Peace to your heart and soul. I love you. Be well. Peace.